2020 has been rough on all of us, and as most of the country experiences a rise in COVID cases and a second shutdown, experts say it's okay to be disappointed.
We all are feeling sad, and it's important to recognize it, deal with it, and express it. But it's also, we need to realize that we will all get through this, and we have to put the safety of others before our own need, but we also need to know there are other ways to connect.
This is Dr. Roseann Capanna-Hodge. She's a pediatric mental health expert. Helping people manage stress and anxiety is what she does. She sees kids of all ages in her Connecticut-based practice. She works with parents, teaching them to reduce and reverse mental health issues in children without a prescription.
We do that by calming and regulating the nervous system with brain-based therapies, and then come in with teaching, which is psychotherapy. And it's really a very effective way to get unstuck when you have an issue like ADHD or autism.
And all of those same problems are now heightened, if not worse.
We've been seeing during the pandemic is an exacerbation of pre-existing conditions, and also some kids for the first time are showing signs of panic, loneliness, depression, anxiety, and certainly we're seeing parents who are extremely overwhelmed.
Those same overwhelmed parents hoping for holiday togetherness are now having to explain to their children why they have to have a quieter than usual Thanksgiving. Dr. Roseann offers 3 tips to do that. The first is having a developmentally appropriate conversation. The second tip?
You want to validate feelings. You want to listen, and you want to say statements like, I hear you. You don't want to dismiss how a kid feels if they're crying. You don't want to say, well, I feel that way too. You're just going to have to deal with it. And I'm not saying all parents say that, but we want to really be there and listen.
And the third, she says, is about those traditions. Think about alternative ways to connect and get creative, which is something she's had to do with her own family.
We devised was coming up with a box full of all the ingredients that Nona would need to make their special treats, right? And then us having that same box and then doing it via Zoom and still preserving that tradition, because that's important to us.
If you have young children, she says, come up with activities and hold the device up so they can do something fun virtually or play and not necessarily converse. And lastly, she says, use this to help kids learn about disappointment.
Teach kids about having a different mindset about stress and disappointment, because if we can't get life lessons out of what is going on in the world right now, I mean, boy, this is a tough time. And we have to learn to build those coping skills.
And while we're all getting through this unprecedented year, it always helps, experts say, to take some time for you too. I'm Stephanie Stone.